This is the post-game interview of the WNBA semifinals Game 3. The Aces won 110-98 in overtime. We hear from Sue Bird, Breanna Stewart, Coach Noelle Quinn, as well as Becky Hammon, Asia Wilson, Chelsea Gray, and Riquna Williams.
Sue, in the moment that you were posting up to hit the 3-point, what was going through your head?
Shoot it. There wasn't a lot of time.
Kevin?
What was kind of the emotional swing of that final second of regulation between that three, Jackie's game-tying bucket, and do you think that had any carryover effect into overtime?
Probably. We were up 4 with not a lot of time left, and that's really, to me, where we lost the game. Letting them take the lead, so they probably scored, that means they scored, 5 points in 3 seconds? That, to me, is where we really let this one go. I understand the last plays are going to stick out because they're dramatic and exciting, and I'm sure it was great TV, but we were up 4.
Maz?
Yeah, and although Breanna, since you haven't spoke, but the 6 points in the final, is that frustration there, or was it something that they were doing?
No, it was really frustrating. I think that we had the game, and we gave it to them, and that's really it.
And how do you guys bounce back from obviously such a disappointing loss, because now it's win or go home?
You just do. I think right now you're not going to see happy faces. You're not going to see people that are thrilled about what just happened, and that's okay. I think you have to kind of go through those emotions to get to the other side. And then tomorrow we have one day to prepare. We'll watch film. We'll come fresh. It's Game 4, right? Had we won today, that doesn't mean anything's guaranteed in Game 4. So you just have to find a way to kind of put this one behind you and move on.
Larry?
From both of your viewpoints, what kind of happened on that last play where they tied the game in regulation?
Well, there was 0.8 seconds. We had discussed having a foul to give, and I think what happened is that Jackie Young made a cut to the basket, and I don't want to assume what Ezzy was thinking, but I'm sure she was thinking oh, I don't want to foul her, and she made the basket. It's not, there wasn't any magic that happened. I was guarding somebody in the corner, to be honest. I didn't really see what happened. I just turned and saw she got the ball.
Your questions are Chris?
Guys, defensively, Asia Wilson had 20 points in the first half. If you count overtime, so 14 in the second, but still you held her down. I'm not sure what kind of adjustments you guys made from the first half to the second half to get back in the game. But if you guys talk about that a little bit, it was quite the run.
We simplified our schemes. I think that, when you have to think about so many things going on and then at the same time play the game, it makes things tough. So halftime we really simplified everything, played similar to how we played Game 1 and Game 2, and it gave us, some type of momentum and push in the second half.
Hunter?
Stewie, likewise, you had a great second half. Can you just talk about the impetus of being more aggressive and really going for your shots in that second half in overtime?
Yeah, just knowing that obviously we needed big plays, big moments, and just trying to be aggressive. I think that, maybe the first half I settled a little bit on jump shots. In the second half, just really getting downhill and attacking the basket and putting the pressure on the refs to make the call.
And Chelsea Gray, she had herself a good game and knocked down some tough threes. Sue, for you, what was your perspective on how she played today?
She played well.
Let's take some questions from the Zoom. Christos, go ahead, Christos.
The way you were in this position several times before in the past. What's the confidence level right now, despite the loss, despite the outcome of this game? What do you need to do in Game 4 to bring your best back?
Sure.
Go ahead.
We need to just learn from today and take that to Game 4. Our backs are now against the wall, if you will. it's win or go home.
Let's go to Jose. Thank you, Christos. Jose, go ahead.
This question is for Sue. The series is far from over. We know that. You guys lost today, but the series is not over whatsoever. With the way that the crowd was in Las Vegas, the fan support and everything and everything going into today's game, knowing it's your last year, would you want it any way, any other way? I mean, this has to be the way you want it to be, right? You don't want just easy-going games. You want excitement.
No, I want 20-point wins every game until we win the championship. What are you talking about? I don't want to lose.
Thanks.
I'm not, no disrespect, but what?
All right. Thanks, ladies. Appreciate it. We'll have Coach Quinn in here in just a minute.
Thank you both.
Hey, Coach, kind of a two-part, but A, the emotionalism of this game, and then B, how do you move on quickly with one day of preparation and then a game?
You said it, just have to watch the film, get better, adjust with the one day in between, and move on from there.
Just talk about the decision to sub Tina, and she didn't play the entire fourth quarter, and then subbed her in like the final possession.
Just wanted a vet on the floor at that time.
Coach Sue was coming in and talking about there was an option to maybe foul in the last play. Could you just walk us through kind of defensively what was your strategy and what went into that decision?
Yeah, we talked about it. I just looked at some clips. It was tough to get there, to execute that specifically, but we talked about it and just didn't execute it. It's on me. I'll take it on the head. All of what happened end of game, all of our execution things, that falls on me.
Questions on the side? Kevin?
I mean, specifically regard to fouling there, I mean, how much of a concern with that little time left is it fouling in the act? And then just kind of walk us through that play, which you saw from the sidelines.
The one where Asia traveled?
No, the young shot.
Yeah. Just looked at on the film what happened where there was a slip out, there was a guard to guard, and obviously Young at the basket. This was the play you're referring to. Young at the basket. We couldn't foul in that instance. They went immediately from sideline of bounds into the play, and that is difficult to defend, especially when she was right going into her shooting motion.
Alert.
Do you think that the way the game ended in the way regulation ended carried over a little bit into overtime, maybe a little bit of an emotional letdown?
Probably some fatigue set in as well. I think we had that momentum and we wanted it to be done, and it wasn't.
And what was it like for you to get Gabby back today?
It was great. I thought that, she helped us tremendously. I know she has to get back her wind a little bit. Steph Talbot came in and gave really good minutes, but it was good to have Gabby's intensity, physicality, energy back on the floor with us.
So you briefly mentioned the play at the end where you said Asia might have traveled. Was that something that you talked to the referees about after it happened, or was it?
Yeah, there was no moment to talk to them about it.
Any questions here in the room? Chip, you want one more? Obviously a very disappointing loss, but now game 4 is win or go home. How do you kind of rally the troops?
Exactly that. It's one game at a time at this particular junction of the playoffs. Look at film, get better, stay positive with it, and just infuse a lot of that within our group.
Then we got one question on Zoom. Andy, go ahead on Zoom. Go ahead.
Hey, Noelle, just wanted to know if there's any consideration about playing Steph Talbot as the Magic or in overtime, considering how much success they had in the fourth quarter.
Steph Talbot did play in overtime, maybe a little bit sooner. in those moments, we ended the game with that group on the floor, and I think just wanting to start with our starters who have been our best five in this particular season. Just trying to find some momentum and knowing that fatigue had set in. Again, my decision, maybe it's right or wrong, I'll take the blame for everything.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. Nikais, go ahead.
To begin the game, it looks like defensively y'all started out with more hitting, more trapping as opposed to switching in the first two games. Was that just trying to set more of a tone defensively, or was there something?
Is that the end of the question? I started out trapping, was that set the tone?
We didn't. Well, actually, yeah, we started out trapping a couple of the players. Yeah, I just wanted to be aggressive where we thought certain players who aren't involved in certain actions, just kind of trying to take players off their strengths. That was kind of the decision into how we started the game, and we had to adjust as players as the game adjusted.
All right. All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, this one's good.
All right, Coach, if you would, please start with an opening statement.
It was a hell of a game. I don't know if I've ever been a part of something like that. The back and forth in the battle. We got off to a decent start. I like how we started the game. Obviously, I thought they got away from us a little bit in the third and fourth quarter. And then obviously just big shot after big shot. From both sides, really. So I was just executing down the stretch, being locked into what we needed to do, and really just sticking together in a really, really tough environment with no give up.
All right, if you raise your hand, we'll move the microphone around the room. Let's start over there.
Yeah, Coach, just talk to me about the clutch shooting of Riquna Williams late in the game. Hit, I think 3 or 4 threes late, and then also Jackie's final shot.
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of go down. Bay hit a big one, then Asia hit a big one, and Jackie hit a big one. Chelsea hit, I mean, it was just, and that's what makes this group special, really. I mean, what's the show, Any Given Sunday? On any given Sunday, it could be somebody else. And vice versa, really, for them. It could be Joel one night, it could be Stewie one night. Sue, I thought, played magnificent tonight. I mean, that was just a really, really high level basketball, really, both sides.
Coach, you look like this is a carryover from game 2, I think, down in Vegas. In your press conference, you kind of stopped us short and said, let's go. And I'm asserting that you all came in here with the warrior mentality and the togetherness and the acronym you told us. Is this what the carryover about this, about determination?
Yeah, I mean, the trust down the stretch, because in every competition, it doesn't matter what sport, there's going to be a breaking point where you only have 2 choices. You're either going to fall apart or you're going to come together. And at the end of the day, like, I look down at the stat sheet, 26 assists. Like, that's probably what I'm happiest about, because it means the ball was playing. It means they were moving it. They were trusting each other, playing the right way. And here's, for us, and I know they're going to go back and look at the film, and they're going to make their adjustments, and they're going to say we could have done this better, and we're going to do the same thing. And coming into this, I thought there was, mentality-wise, they're coming off a loss, and it's hard to meet that ferocity and that kind of focus a lot of times when somebody's coming off a loss. And I thought the way we came out of the gates really gave us a good chance to win the game, because we were so locked in, so focused. You're going to need a cushion against this team because they're not going anywhere. They're going to always make a run. They're never going away. So it's about being locked in for the entire game and executing. And I think, the fact that I have the luxury of kind of, you don't know, because is it going to be Jackie? Is it going to be Asia? Is it going to be Chelsea? Is it going to be like, there's a lot of weapons. So that's a real luxury to have in these kind of situations. So, and that's not me, that's just them. I just get the benefits of it.
Thanks.
So, I mean, what does a win like this teach your team going forward when they're thinking about bigger things after this game?
It's just not over until the buzzer goes off. And, you know, I talk about fighting for 40 minutes. Today it took 45 minutes. But you got to dig in and fight for however long it takes. And for every minute, because in these kind of situations, like every possession matters, both offensively and defensively. And I thought we made some mistakes that gave them some really easy ones. And then that starts to put some real pressure on your defense, especially when they're getting layups because we're missing rotations or whatnot. So we're going to go back, we're going to look, see if we can't tweak some things, as will they. So we expect nothing probably but a similar battle, just down to the wire in Game 4. It's hard to knock out a champ.
One more from the room, and then we'll go a couple on the Zoom.
I know you said it's not about you, but the 3 consecutive ATOs, you want the 3, you get it, the Asia score, and then Jackie at the buzzer. Is there pride in seeing your players execute those plays the way you kind of drew them up?
Oh yeah, I mean that's growth. When, man, I've said this, you know, the whole year. I have a luxury of being able to draw something and stuff they've never seen before, and they can go out and do it. That's a skill set. And a luxury because I can kind of read what they're doing defensively and then draw the play accordingly. And for them to just go out and execute it is a tribute to their focus, their lock-in factor, and their will to win. Their will to win. And then obviously, you know, Chelsea's special in certain situations. I mean, and what a luxury. You can just give her the ball and she's gonna make something happen. With her passing, 12 assists, 1 turnover. Is to go along with 20. I mean, it's just an incredible performance. We had her, Asia, Kia on the glass for us. That's a huge deal for us to win the glass.
Andy?
Hey Becky, I know you just touched on it a little bit there, but Chelsea Gray seems like she's hit just another level of these playoffs. What have you seen from her both as a player and as a leader on this team these last couple weeks?
Chelsea Gray being Chelsea Gray. This girl has been hitting big shots for her entire career. I don't know if there's, I mean, with clutch performances, you got to put her in the conversation with every great basketball player. Male, female, it doesn't matter.
Let's take one more from Michael Lopel.
Michael?
Hey, I'm sorry. Becky, I'm on Zoom.
Oh, there you are, okay.
As a player, you've been involved in some great playoff games with, you know, very dramatic endings. Thinking back to Spoon in '99 in the finals, obviously Nick keeps escape against you guys in the finals in 2000, and then Sophia Young, the big shot she made in the Western Conference semis. You said earlier that there are a few games you think like this. Was this also just the fact that there were so many great plays at the end, and how do you think this game might rate with ones you've been involved in?
I mean, obviously this is the biggest game from the sidelines for me, but I can't think of a back and forth between 2 heavyweights like this game. I mean, it was just big shot after big shot after big shot. So that you got two players too that are in their prime of their career, MVP candidates just going at it. I mean, you really can't draw it up any better from a spectator viewpoint. But the I mean, I don't. Why don't you ask them? Here they are.
You always pass the mic.
I am passing the mic because you guys dropped the mic. I passed the mic.
I didn't know the question was.
Thank you, Becky.
Sorry, Mike.
That was about as big as it gets, though, Michael.
No, you here to answer a question or two. I'm passing it to you.
John. Yeah. What about Gatorade's legal?
I mean, they pay me.
Get ready.
They Pepsi. It's a Pepsi product. I can drink this one.
Fulfill the contract.
Pepsi. What are they? A Pepsi
All
product.
right.
Pay my bills.
Michael, since we handed off in the middle of your question, why don't you ask your question again to these ladies if you'd like?
Yeah, I think I will. I think I'll follow up with Chelsea. I was asking Becky about just being in a game even as a player that had this many exciting moments. Obviously, with the Game 5 of 2016, with you guys winning with the Sparks was a huge game. But have you ever been in a game that had this many huge plays by different people with so many high stakes?
It's. I'm trying to think. It's pretty close with those moments. I think that this is probably the game where there was so many back and forth. Oh, they're gonna win it. Oh no, they're gonna win it. Oh, we're going to overtime like that. In 2016, it didn't go into overtime like it was done. Like we had 5 minutes, another 5 minutes of playing. So it's pretty high up there. Yeah, that's what playoff basketball's all about. It felt good.
Nick Hamilton? Nick?
Hey ladies, congratulations on a very hard-fought win. Riquna, this question is for you. I mean, you were just in the zone when it came to being behind the arc and kind of struggled early on, but you found your way. What was the confidence level as far as you being able to get really locked in and really be a key factor to this win today?
My teammates keep telling me shoot the ball, like relax. They asked was I doing push-ups before the game or something because everything was so strong and long. But just staying in it, trying to stay locked in on the defensive end, letting my offense come to me.
Cassandra?
Thank you.
Cassandra, you there?
Unmute yourself, Cassandra.
Yes.
There we go.
Here. Question for Asia. When Sue hit that shot, it seemed like that was going to be the end of the game, but I watched your disposition and you ran over to your teammates and stayed ready. What did you say to them in that moment, and how did your mindset shift so quickly to we're still going to win this game?
Man, when y'all be asking us these in the moment questions, I really don't have an idea what I said to my teammates. But the biggest thing was just we live for these moments. You work hard for these bright light games, and just staying in it and understanding that we've worked hard to get to where we are and never lose sight of that. So I can't guarantee you what I said to them, but we came out and we were locked in, and Jackie made a big shot for us.
After Jackie's shot, how much of momentum did you feel like that gave you going into overtime? Did you feel like that could carry over?
Yeah, that was a lot of momentum. We said in the huddle that the momentum is on our side right now, and that was a play. It was deflating for the home team, that we got to go into overtime. We were ready. We came out locked in for those 5 minutes.
And yell real loudly.
Okay, I can be pretty loud. The focus you all had, particularly at the beginning of the game, and then it kind of continued on. I told you I could be loud. What have you done the past 24, 48 hours to kind of find that focus and hone in where you are now?
I would just say our meetings are tighter, it's more concise, we're on the same page. Any adjustment that we make, we're making it in game and we're talking about it. Even with the type of layups that they were getting. They went on a run, they punched us hard with that run, getting some backdoor cuts. The crowd was in it. As an away team, you can't have those types of moments. But I think it's our communication when we get into the huddles to go back what got us here and what got us to that point. So we were locked in. We didn't really waver. We were still strong.
All right, let's do 2 more here, 2 more from the Zooms, and then we'll get ready for game 4.
Okay. Kind of adding on to that, you win game 2 and just being locked in focus to win game 3, which you did, and then how do you continue that focus to possibly close it out?
I mean, understanding that this is what we do. At the end of the day, we have to stay locked in. We're playing in a hard place to play. But That's how champions are born. That's how things go on. You win on the road. They were hyped when they won game 1 because you need these games on the road. So for us, we just got to continue to stay locked into who we are. And I think the biggest thing is kind of what Chelsea said is just staying composed. We're playing against a Seattle team that's been here before, that can wave the storm, that, no pun intended, that can they know. And the biggest thing is for us to be mentally tough in those situations. So if that means going back to our rooms, settling down, getting something to eat, and not doing anything else, then that's what it means. We got to take care of our bodies, but also our minds, because Game 4 is not about to be easy. Game 3 damn sure wasn't easy. So we really just got to lock into ourselves and just stay composed through the moment.
Thanks.
And Asia, kind of to go right off of that, very hostile crowd environment. But talk about the growth you've seen from this Aces team, like this season compared to maybe a couple years in the playoffs a couple years ago.
Yeah, we're locked in more than ever. I think we had a lot of different stuff that was going on, of course, within our teams throughout the playoffs, as every team does. But this year, we're just locked in because we know what we're fully capable of. And knowing when Becky goes in halftime, it's like, okay, first half was good, but I want more out of you. I think that is what makes you push through that finish line. That's what makes you want to go ahead and put stuff on the line, because it's like, even though we played our hardest for maybe the 20 minutes, we can still give more, because these are the times that we play for. So at the end of the day, when we're locked into that, I'm going to bet on us always, no matter what.
All right, let's head to Greece with Christos.
He's so great.
He in Greece.
Yep.
Hello, ladies.
Dedication right there. What up?
Asia, question for you. Wins like this, how mentally strong you make you as a team?
Oh, this is huge. We have a 24-hour rule when games don't go our way, but also when games go our way. We can settle in on this one, but we know the job's not done. We know they're going to come out ready, and we have to be the same. Can't be a drop-off. This is still a business trip to us, and at the end of the day, we got to make sure that we come in locked in and ready to go. Oh, TC, you good? Yeah.
All right, let's close it out with everybody's new favorite questioner, Nikias. Go ahead.
Hello, this question is for you, Asia. You've alluded to the fact that once you hit the playoffs, teams already know what the other team is running.
Yeah.
You're not going to be surprised by play calls in particular. With you getting the Breanna Stewart matchup a lot, Seattle loves to have super screen for Breanna Stewart, have curl in. What makes that action so difficult to defend?
It's the mismatch. They're playing to their strengths. When they want to get a mismatch with KP on a Stewie, that's a mismatch that they want to look at, obviously. But at the same time, it's a team effort at the end of the day. We got to make sure that we have layers to our defense. That's key to us. That's key to our system. So they try to expose our mismatches, and we try to do the same the best way we can. But at the end of the day, we got to be, as a team, locked in and ready to defend people individually.
Bay, anything to close us out?
No, thank you.
Perfect.
Good job, baby.
Thanks, y'all.
Good answer, good
Thank you,
answer.
ladies.